And welcome to a video that deals with system or built-in variables, the extension part of that lesson. So we looked at yesterday how we can use our width and our height, also mouse x, mouse y, and how we can vary our shapes using those built-in or system variables. In this particular lesson, we're going to look at how we can use those same like mouse x, mouse y, but what if we have a shape that has several different values, instances of mouse x, x and y values. So in the shapes that we used yesterday, like an ellipse or rectangle, we have one instance of x and one instance of a y. So if you had, let's see, an ellipse, I'm going to put an ellipse in here. If I had an ellipse, and I placed it at 100, 100, and I make it 50. And I am going to make this particular value mouse x. Then I just had one value x and one value of y. But what happens when we look at something like a triangle or a quad or anything that has like a vertex in it? There are multiple instances of x and y. So if you look at a triangle, this triangle has x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So if I were to use, let's say, mouse x, mouse y, and I placed it here and here, these values are different. They're not the same. So I can't, if I were to do that, then I'll be placing all of the values at the same location. And then that's not going to work. It's not going to make a triangle because all my values are going to be in the same spot. So what do we do in that instance? So the first thing I want to do is that we want to have our anchor points. And when I say anchor points, we're going to make two of these values, the mouse x or the mouse y, and we're going to keep track of those values. In order to keep track of the values, usually I like to place them in a comment right out here. So if I'm going to use the 50, the first x and the first y as my anchor points, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to place those values here. I'm going to change this to mouse x. I'm going to change this one to mouse y. I'm going to take out the ellipse by putting a comment here. Oops, I didn't make this mouse y. I'm going to run this. Notice that that one point is already moving, right? So I have it there and it's moving, but I need the other 2 points to also move with the mouse as well. And now I said, I'm going to move this across so you can see it. Let's do this. And then I'm going to grab this. So we set our anchor points at 50, 50. Now this x value, so this is our x and this is our y. This x value is 75. It's not 50. But I can use my mouse x, but I will have to do some adjustment or some math in order to get it to 75. So when I do this, I'm saying mouse x right now is at 50, mouse y is 50. But I need this to be 75. So what I can do is I can say mouse x, and to get from 50 to 75, I need to add 25 to that value. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to add 25. So now this is 50 and this is 75 because I add 25 to this. Over here, it's the same thing. So I have this y value. My original y value is at 50, and this is at 10. So it's less than the original value. So I'm going to do, to get it down to 10, I'm going to have to do some subtraction. So I'm going to say mouse y minus, if I want to get it from 50 to 10, then I'm taking away 40 from that value. And the same thing I'm going to do over here. And this should be mouse y, sorry. I am messing that up. And again, this is x. X is 50. And if I'm going from 50 to 100, I'm adding 50 to it. So I'm going to do mouse X. And I'm going to do plus 50. And the last value, take up the whole thing. Again, this one is 50 as well. So again, if the value is the same as that, then I'm just going to put it as mouse Y because this value is a Y value, right? So I'm just going to put it what it is. So if the values are the same, then it's going to be mouse X or mouse Y. If the values are different, then we're either subtracting or adding to that value, whichever way. So if it's more, we're going to add to the value. If it's less, then we're going to subtract from the value to get it to where it is. And again, now I am able, so I'm going to pull this back over so you can see a little bit better. Now I'm actually able to move the entire triangle with my mouse. And again, that's just by doing some adjustments. So again, we can do this for any shape that has more than one X and Y value, so like margin, vertexes, and whatnot. We will have to do some math, and we'll look into this a little bit more details when we get to other coding. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Have fun.